Well, you're just really dropping me into this game, aren't you? Hey there, guys! My name is Nix, and welcome back to 999. Last time... Oh, boy, last time. Where do I even start? Well, probably by looking at this thing on the desk. There's a note on the table. Lights to the books! Huh, what does that mean? Interesting. Well, intelligence often hides itself in darkness. Have you ever thought about the pages of a book? Each page only sees, what, 2 or 3 minutes of light before the reader is on to the next? They spend the rest of their lives locked in darkness. Rather like myself. That's horrible. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining, not at all. I actually quite liked not being with you all. It was rather refreshing. I live in the darkness, yes. Okay, enough of the Kingdom Hearts with you, Snake. Jesus Christ. I've been going like not even a minute and we're already referencing something else. That's not even a reference, it's just me being dumb. But that has gifted me with the ability to catch the truths others might miss. I can hear the voices hidden in the darkness, you might say. So, it's not actually telling me anything. Handrail is made of metal. Energy theory, development of nanotechnology materials, interaction between shortwave energy and matter. What else have we got? Just listening to you read those titles is giving me a headache. Can't say fancy technology stuff and I get along real well. Keep talking about the stuff you're gonna put me to sleep. Well, we don't have... Oh, there's a gap in the shelf. Ernal, Pew, Nebd, and Obv. They're all just gibberish. Hey, what if I, like, switch them around? Switch them around? Yeah. If we move them around, maybe they'll spell something. Well, the top line says open. I can make that. Oh, yeah. I get it. It's worth a shot. So, if I make... Open here, find bulb. How about this? Looks like putting those in the right order. Open this thing. That was a piece of cake. Hooray! You did it, Junpei! I guess that turned out well enough. The letters in the title spell out, open here, find bulb. Bulb is here. Powerful light bulb. Just to distinguish that this is no light bulb. This is no ordinary light bulb. I don't know, this is an M&S light bulb, apparently. So I've solved that. I don't think there's anything else looking at these shelves, or at least anything out of place. So down here, I guess. What do we got? Dad kind 1 through 7. Oh, what does that say? Well, we've got Dadkind Owen. I almost read that as Sheldrake. And... Libanez? Libanez? This book is in German. I could have figured. It looks like it's the complete works of... something. I've never heard of it. Well, if Snake doesn't know what it is, I don't think we'll ever know. Sheldrake? Sheldrake. Isn't Sheldrake... Huh? Owen, huh? Owen isn't enough to go on. Perhaps it's about the English Revolutionary? I doubt it. Dadkind. The hell is this? Wasn't that a German mathematician? Maybe it's a compilation of his work. It's a yellow book with the word Libanez written on it, sitting on the shelf. Sheldrake on the spine. So, 7 Dadkind, 7 Owen, 8 Libanez, and 8 Sheldrake. What's on the shelf? Ooh, astronomy! But I don't have a book for it. The iron plate is bolted down. I don't think it's a door, it's just a wall. I mean, you say that. There are 3 lights in the thing. They aren't very bright, though. Hey, didn't we find some kind of really powerful light bulb earlier? Why don't you put it into one of those lights?
Yeah. Well, it got a lot brighter, but...
But if there are 3 lights, that means 3 light bulbs. There won't be much point unless we can replace all 3. We need 3 light bulbs, huh? Well, that means I gotta solve 3 lots of puzzles.
That's a weird book, Junpei. Indian mathematics. That's funny.
Why is that funny? And how is it different to normal mathematics? The Pythagorean theorem. This is a famous one. Sounds like there are a number of math books in this section. Indeed, Snake. We've got maths. There are books in all sorts of languages. But there's something about the shelf on the left. You mean this one? This one that I can't open? This bookshelf has some sort of glass inlay. It's pretty big, but there's only 6 books on it. That seems kind of weird.
Hey, it looks like there's something on the bottom. Can't really see what it is, though. The glass is all foggy.
Well, I need a key to get in, so... The big opening is the door to the library. It's pretty impressive. Almost looks like the door to a shrine or a church or something. There's another door after it, and then a passageway beyond that. At the end of that passageway is the door with the Neptune symbol engraved on it. Hurry up, we need to find the key with the mark of Neptune.
Okay! This sounds like a job for the best brother and sister team in the world.
And it's like 7 and I don't exist. I mean, it really depends. The black hole hypothesis. Gamma ray astrophysics. I guess this bookshelf has an astronomy theme. Look, therefore. Oh, hello, we've got Japanese book.
History of the medieval period. Maybe it's about Sir Lancelot?
Isn't it just a story? I don't think you're going to find a guy who didn't really exist in a history book. A kid's book here? Looks like it's a children's story about Native Americans.
Huh. You don't think a random book like this is sort of suspicious? Maybe we would hold on to it.
So, what we got? This one has some Native Americans on the cover. Hey, Junpei, take a look at this one. Native Americans, huh? Maybe it's got some... Whoa! Pop-up book. What's that? This one of them pop-up books? LRK. That doesn't mean anything. Does it? Well, you could make them KRL. Like Curl or Carl. I mean, if you frame it right, it says kill, but...
What's Hellenism?
I think it's some kind of fusion of Greek and Oriental culture.
Look, this one says Cultural Heritage of Rome.
But that's gonna be serious inheritance tax.
Oriental history. Maybe this was about China's 4,000 years of history or something.
Hey, Chinese history and Oriental history aren't the same thing. Like, I feel like medieval period, Hellenism. This book's called Greek mythology. Damn, that thing's huge. Can't imagine anyone actually read the whole thing. Pretty sure it just put me to sleep. Yeah, probably 7. So what you're saying, black hole hypothesis. So I did that one. Energy theory. Handrails. That's one I've already looked at. Energy theory, huh? I don't even understand the damn title. Looks like this shelf's all science and technology. Oh, hello. More books. Kitab al-Azif. Man, they got some weird stuff here. Can't even pronounce this one.
Who's that? Some famous guy?
It's not a person's name. It's the name of a fictional book created by Abdul Al-Hazred. Al-Hazred? It's said to be one of the sources used in the creation of the legendary Book of the Dead, the Necronomicon.
Oh. So these are all occult books and stuff.
Teletemporation and telepathy. The hell is this one about? Well, I know what telepathy is, but I've never heard of teletemportation. It refers to having the ability to travel through time. Oh, okay. This bookshelf is full of occult stuff like Kitab as if.
This one says the golden rabbit and the moon on it. Does that mean it's about a rabbit that lives on the moon? Rabbits are pretty cute, but what's the moon stuff about?
It's talking about the Judas tree that is said to grow on the moon according to the Chinese legend. This book's called a Mind Swap.
You mean you could, like, change bodies with someone? I guess I wouldn't mind switching bodies with my brother or Junpei too much. But I'd rather die than let Seven switch with me.
What the hell? Like, I don't even want to swap bodies with a little brat like.
Hey, were you just imagining? You were!
Shut up. Yeah, well, he wasn't the only one. Ah, Junpei. Lowering the tone, just like we expect you to. I feel like I've got to be able to examine, like, something specific here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to zoom in on the books. Oh, we got more stuff.
Paleontology. This one's about fossils, right? Ammonites are pretty nasty looking.
Mother Nature. Is there some sort of book about hippie chicks? Probably not. Except perhaps tangentially. It's more likely about environmental protection. I was trying to make a joke. Dude, hippie chicks? Really? This one says transition of extinct species. We need to hurry it up or we're gonna end up in the pages of a book like that. That was weird. Don't know why I didn't, like, just scroll. Theory of evolution. Heck, even I know this one. It's that Darwin guy, right? Well, yes and no. Charles Darwin wrote a book called On the Origin of the Species. In it, he put forth his theory of evolution. Yeah, I remember that part. He called it natural selection. Exactly. Theories of the Cambrian explosion. The bomb go off somewhere near somewhere called Cambria. I feel like I've heard this one. It's the Cambrian explosion. Ah, yeah, that was the birth of all the, like, microscopic things that lived in the sea. Wrong kind of explosion. Roughly 500 million years ago, during the age which was known as the Cambrian period, research suggested the variety of living organisms increased by an order of magnitude. Why this happened, however, is still something of a mystery. There are a number of theories. This book is most likely a collection of them. Introduction to Geology, huh? Oh, good. Riveting books. Thinking about the Earth, I guess even when you're on the ocean. Kinda romantic in a way, I guess. Creatures of the South Seas, huh? Wonder if this one's got any pictures of colourful fish and stuff. Micrographia, huh? Ah yes, Robert Hooke's famous works. First published in 1665. You seem to know a lot about books for a man that can't read. He built a microscope and examined insects, organic substances, and other things too small to be seen in detail by human eyes. He then drew pictures of many of these things he'd examined and published them in the book. I hazard the guess that this shelf is covered with natural sciences. Cue the rush. Why did mankind lose their tails? Junpei, do you know what this one was about? Why are you asking me? I don't even know we had tails to lose. Maybe we should ask a human with a tail. Mankind's ancestors most likely lost their tails when they were no longer useful, and the nutrients required to grow them were better put to elsewhere. At least that's what I read. I was rather young and may have remembered it incorrectly. You know, I've just said he can't read and then I forgot Braille existed. So, yeah, whoops. I'm glad I caught that. Eventually, I caught that. Oh, why the hell would a kid be reading a book like that? Well, I mean, we don't really have a good answer for that, do we? Automated robot assembly line techniques. Huh. Do they have the copy of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? I feel like they should.
What's that? Some sort of comic book? Jeez, I guess boys really like that stuff, huh?
No, you're thinking of a different sort of robot. This book is talking about an automated machinery that's used to build things like cars. Communication and computer science, huh? That's a pretty generic title. To be honest, it's so vague I don't really know what it might be about. Stab at computer science. What's this one called? It says Foundations of DNA and Genetic Engineering. Ooh, an actually interesting sounding book. An overview of photochemistry? I feel like I should know about this one considering I did a degree in chemistry, but do I fuck? That's clearly going to good use right now.
I think whoever set this up wanted to see the cover, not the spine. Let's look at it, okay?
Huh, looks like there's a whole lot of space behind these books.
Look, Junpei! I think there's something hiding behind the books.
Fucking really? You wanted me to look at all the books and find a bulb behind them. Fucking what? Functions of the human brain. Huh. This is the book about the nervous system? I'd love to ask you to read it to me, but I don't think we have the time.
I'm kind of curious about it, too. There's got to be a reason why people connect with each other, you know?
Dissection Atlas, huh? This whole shelf is full of medical books.
This one looks just like that picture book from earlier, the one with the pop-ups.
You think they're part of a series or something? They do have the same binding. It's got a baseball on the front.
There's a baseball on this one. Come on, Junpei, let's see what's in it.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it's probably baseball. Whoa! Head.
This is a pop-up book. It's got the letters H, E, A, and D popping out of it.
So we've got head, and we've got kill. Human equilibrium theory. Human anatomy.
Regeneration of internal organs.
Ancient gladiators. What's this book doing here? Maybe they were researching human physical limits across history. Look, this one's called Recreation of Lost Human Functions. You think they're talking if you, like, lose a part of your body, then you could grow it back? I don't think so. Maybe they're talking about reconstructing abilities that humankind once had. In other words, they may be talking about cultivating a sixth sense. Or this telepathy thing we've got going on.
Oh look, Seven, here's a perfect book for you. It's called Correlation of Muscle, Bone Density, and Bone Strength.
You're just saying that because it says muscle. Everyone knows I can't read. This book is just called Dissection. The bookshelf must be all medical books. From what I can tell, it sounds as though these books have been organized by genre. The library must be massive. I'm rather impressed at how well organized it is. Principles of Monkey Behavior, huh? I imagine that's a book describing praxeology studies on monkeys. Monkeys are very similar to humans evolutionary, so I imagine this research was fruitful. I almost said futile. How am I doing with looking at the things? I feel like I'm doing quite well. There's a note on the table. It says lights to the books. Can I go downstairs and check any of the shelves there? Algebraic number theory. There's another one like that over here. It means something like primary number theory or analytical number theory or geometry.
Oh my gosh, how did you know? Nobody said anything about those.
Well, number theory is usually split into 4 chief disciplines. If there was a book named Algebraic Number Theory, I took a wild guess that the other 3 would be there as well. Looks like I was right. So... these have got to be important somewhere. Sheldrake, Owen, that kind. It's a weird book, Indian mathematics.
It says Riemann hypothesis. What's this hypothesize with about reaming?
Right. What?
Isn't it pretty straightforward?
Heavens no, there are many factors. Length, girth, lubrication, or lack of. I realized where we went, and I'm glad we can still do that this late in the game. It's an exciting, rapidly growing field.
Whoa! Innuendos.
On the top shelf. This one's Goldback's Conjecture. Conjecture? What's it about? Magic or physics stuff or something? Right, I bet it's about jewelry, isn't it? It may have an odd title, but it's actually a very respectable mathematics book. It details with one of the unsolved problems of additive number theory. Sorry I said anything. Look, let's not get into this right now, okay? Book, algebraic number theory, Pythagorean theorem. Books in the shelf. Oh, something about the shelf on the left. That's the roof. Let's see what they've got here. So many books here. I wonder what's... Whoa, what's with this? Warm?
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Hey, what's the deal with this sappy stuff? Well, you see, June fucked off, so... there are a bunch of books on folklore and myth here. Ooh, something actually possibly interesting. Hey, there's another one of those picture books here. Something about these things feels kind of nice, you know? Brings back good memories.
I guess even people like Seven were kids once.
No shit, you little brat! Hey, guys, cool it, please. Alright, I think I'm gonna take the picture book with me. This one's got a hammer on the front. And it says, Tales of Old Japan. I'm surprised I can read that. It's got a magic wand on it. Really, it looks more like a hammer. Okay. So, what's inside? Well, aren't you going to open it? Pretty sure it's just going to have pages inside. Smart. Whoa! SEI 5. Looks like another pop-up book. This one has an SEI, a dash, and a 5 sticking out of it. I might be impressed if I was 5. SEI 5. SEI 5. What am I meant to use these with? Because this one clearly says kill in it. It's got all the letters for kill. Or lilk, depending on how they're arranged. This one says SE5. And this one says head. Oh, how about I put the picture books on the stands? Ah, I see, said the blind man. See, I put the pop-up books here, then I put the bulbs on, and then it shows me something on the floor. Now I've just got to find that final book. Awesome, there's a glass lock on the door. Yep, won't budge. Middle of the glass, there's a cylinder lock. You know, the kind of lock where you rotate the numbers around until you've got the right ones and it opens. What the hell is this? I thought they just gave us the answer. Guess I might as well give it a shot. They did? Oh. 632415. There we go. I was a bit slow on that one.
You did it, Junpei! Yay!
I don't know why, but I don't feel particularly happy about being praised for that. Whatever. At least the lock's open now. Let's see if we can get it open, alright? Oh, that was easy. Hey, look, a bulb. Anything in these astronomy volumes? All 6 books seem to be pointing at the cylinder number lock. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't think of that one. I didn't want to look at that. I want to do these. Put the 3 lights in. I'm going to change the bulbs. Now they should... Way to go, Junpei. Good job, buddy.
There's something projecting onto the bottom.
It says Sheldrake 5, guys. These letters, they seem familiar. Yeah, Sheldrake 5. Sheldrake 5. Sheldrake on the spine of the book. It's got the volume number written on the lower part of the spine. No, let me take Sheldrake 5, please.
I think I saw the rest of his collection somewhere.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around here.
Let's go take a look.
Okay.
Sheldrake.
Have you heard of him? Sheldrake, I mean.
I've heard his name before during this game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Lotus told me about him.
There we go.
There's a British biochemist named Sheldrake. He has a rather interesting theory. Morphogenetic fields, which relies on the theory of morphic resonance.
Really? From Lotus, huh?
The picture of the Funya came in handy, didn't it?
Well, Clover also said something to me about that stuff.
She did?
Yeah, what was it?
The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things. The first is epiphany, and the other is danger.
That girl. I told her not to tell anyone.
You did? Why?
Well,
Look, man, I didn't push it because we're in a hurry, but I'm kind of sick of this. How about you just tell me, okay?
tell you what?
Don't give me that. About the experiment.
Ugh. Very well, fine. I'll tell you everything. But not here. Let's move to the top floor.
Take a seat, it's gonna be a long while.
I suppose I might as well start by telling you why I kept quiet, and why I made sure Clover did as well. To be honest, the explanation is quite simple. Zero told me not to. I had little choice. He didn't walk up and tell me, of course. He gave me a message engraved on a card.
That's a Braille card. It looks just like the one you showed us earlier. So you had 2 cards.
No, only one.
Huh? What do you mean?
He just didn't tell us this part.
I thought that card just had some rules for the nonary game on it.
Yes, it did.
I mean, don't talk about the experiment is a pretty good rule.
And those were the rules I read you. However, they were not the only thing on the card. There was something I didn't read. Well, perhaps I should say there was something I couldn't read.
And that was?
Tell no one of the events that took place 9 years ago. Tell, and I activate your sister's detonator. It's a threat on our lives.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Well, what about Clover? Did she get a message from Zero too?
I don't believe she did. But doesn't it strike you as strange that Zero would shut my mouth, but not hers?
Yeah, now that you mention it.
Yeah.
To be on the safe side, however, I told her it was best not to tell anyone. Still, apparently she told you. That girl.
What's wrong with her telling me? I figured some stuff out with the things she told me. I mean, it looks like the whole activate her detonator thing was just a bluff. She's prancing around downstairs happy as a clam now that you're back.
That's very true. I've decided I can trust you. I've decided to tell you the truth. The chance that Santa is Zero is very high. I feel I can assume Santa doesn't have the time to observe us at the moment. And at any rate, even if he were, I very much doubt he would kill us.
Why?
Don't say this. This is when Clover explodes downstairs, isn't it?
Clover told me about the 4-leaf clover, about the words. If he knew about that, then he was in my group during the first experiment. I'm sure of it. He wouldn't kill us, no matter what the situation was.
Hey, Snake?
Yes, I know. You want to know what happened during the experiment.
Ideally, yes.
Yeah.
How much do you know?
Clover told me about...
Morphogenetic fields and the 2
I
different
see.
tests being run.
The morphogenetic field and the experiments 9 years prior. How the experiments had taken place simultaneously at 2 locations, one being the ship and the other being a building in Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
And the girl that died during the experiment.
Santa's sister.
She told you all that, did she?
I'm pretty sure we've established that at this point.
At any rate, I now know how much you've learned. All that remains for us to determine...
is who did this and why, right?
Yes.
Can you tell me what happened?
Yes. The people who organized the initial experiment were from a company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals. There were 4 of them running the show. Gentaro Hongo, Nagisa Nijisaki, Teruaki Kubota, Kagechika Musashido. Hongo was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Nijisaki was his right-hand man and did the lion's share of the planning. Kubota led the company's research and development division.
From the silhouette, even though they've cropped his eyes off, I'm pretty sure that's meant to be the 9th man.
Musashido was their majority stockholder.
I mean, he looks like he's let himself go a bit, but...
It was these 4 people who planned the initial experiment. Let me simplify it for you. Hongo designed it, and Nijisaki put it all together. Kubota developed the technology required, and Musashido provided the cash.
So it's Hongo, Nijisaki, Kubota, Musashido.
Of course, more than 4 people were required to conduct an experiment of this scale. To that end, they organized a top-secret team to assist them with their research. All in all, they gathered 10 people or so. Those 10 completed their team, and they were able to begin the project. They named it the Nonori Project. The purpose of the experiment was to research the prospect of controlling a human mind through sheer will. The vessel, I suppose you could say, for this control was the morphogenetic field. Why did the glycerin suddenly begin to crystallize? Why did the crystal structure of EDT undergo a sudden change? Why did the rats improve their puzzle-solving skills with each generation? Experiments with humans produce the same results. The more people who knew the answer to a question, the more there were who could answer correctly without having seen the problem before. Why is that? How could it happen? The answer is that the shape of the answer has been stored in a field invisible to the naked eye. And through that field, the resonant event transmits information related to that answer. That's essentially the idea behind morphogenetic fields.
But that's just a theory.
Can't bring yourself to believe it?
Yeah.
Let's say someone killed another person because the devil told them to do it. Whether the devil exists or not has no relevance to the murder. They believe the devil exists. Whether or not he does is immaterial.
So what matters here is that Hongo believed in the morphogenetic field.
That's right.
But I still don't get it. You said they wanted to figure out how to control people, right? That is what you were saying.
Yes.
So how are they going to do that with a morphogenetic field?
I'll keep it simple. Let's suppose 10,000 people have solved a certain problem. The chance of you knowing that answer, even if no one has told you, will go up. Let's have another example, shall we?
So that's the reference to the dog picture thing that Lotus told us about.
Say 1 million people were to do a handstand right now. Tomorrow, the chances of you doing a handstand would be higher, even if you had heard nothing of this hypothetical mass handstanding. Mankind's thought process and actions are all part of a resonant event. All of the resonant events encoded in the fields are projected onto you. Of course, this assumes you believe in this theory. Do you follow so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if there was a person who had the same effect as those millions of people, what would happen? If that one person were to do a handstand, other people would find themselves wanting to do handstands as well.
Ah, I see. So instead of millions of people affecting the one person, it would be one person affecting the millions of people through the morphogenetic fields, right?
Can you imagine what a person with powers like that would be able to do?
Come on, there's no way.
I'm not done. Imagine another scenario. Imagine another person. This is an ordinary person. Let's say he does a handstand. What if there was someone who could grab the resonant event he created by doing that and use it to make other people do handstands? What would happen then? A person who has the power to write to the field, and someone who can read from the same. You could think of them as the writer and the reader, or the transmitter and the receiver. What would the world be like if there were people with abilities like these?
Fucking terrifying.
So So the transmitter's resonant event can be transmitted through the field and sent to the receiver. And then the transmitter can control the receiver however they wish.
That means I have a transmitter? Because I'm pretty sure I accessed the morphogenetic field. Well, technically that was from a separate timeline. Whatever.
That's what you're saying, right?
I'm sure it'll be explained.
Yes. Close enough, at least.
Fingers crossed.
Come on, that's just crazy.
Well, if you want to prove that, then you'll have to test it first. At least, that was how they thought. That was why they decided to do their experiment. That was how the Nonary project began. By the way, Junpei, have you ever heard of the Gansfeld experiment?
I feel like we've spoken about this one as well.
Yeah, that was an experiment in telepathy, right? You place a pair of subjects in separate rooms. Then you show one a picture and ask the other what they see.
Interesting. I'm impressed. Yes, that is exactly correct.
So, why did you bring up the Gansfeld experiment?
It was used to screen subjects for the Nonary project. The hospital in a remote town was affiliated with Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Hongo used it to conduct experiments on visiting children in secret. Some of them, he found, had potential. He began to gather children that showed promise. Children that seemed as though they might be able to access the field. Of course, none of them volunteered. They were kidnapped. There were 9 pairs of siblings taken, for 18 children total. For reasons that were not fully understood at the time, each pair had one transmitter and one receiver. They were split perfectly. As such, the 18 children were split into 2 groups of 9. The children who were put into Group Q were the ones who excelled at transmitting.
Sorry, why did we have to pick Q?
They were transferred to the mock experiment building known as Building Q in the Nevada desert.
That'd be why.
The children who excelled at receiving were put in Group A. Group A was then placed on the former hospital ship Gigantic. From the experiments he had conducted so far, Hongo had learned the following. There are 2 things that can increase one's resonance with the fields.
Epiphany and danger.
The first is epiphany. The other is danger.
Clover told us this much.
Have you ever been faced with an especially difficult problem and thought about it very long and very hard until finally an answer suddenly appeared in your mind? It may seem obvious to say so, but that is what is meant by epiphany.
Yeah, about an hour in-game ago.
The information obtained through that epiphany can be easily transmitted through the fields, where it can be easily interpreted. Adding danger to that equation allows for even easier field access. That's where Hongo came in. They set up a number of puzzles across the Gigantic. The participants had to solve each one before they could move to the next room. Of course, he hadn't forgotten to include danger. He had detonated a bomb on the hull of the Gigantic. The children in Group A were forced to play the Nonary game as the ship sunk. By forcing the children into a life-or-death situation, Hongo hoped to increase the likelihood of their tapping into the fields. The children from Group Q, on the other hand, were confined to the mock experiment building, Building Q. Building Q duplicated the interior and puzzles of the Gigantic exactly. Every detail was exactly the same. Hongo explained the situation to the children in Group Q. Solve the puzzles you find throughout the rooms. When you have the answers, transmit that information to the children in Group A. If you succeed, they will be able to solve the puzzles and escape. But if you fail, then the Gigantic will sink, and your brothers and sisters will drown. Those were his orders. Do you know why the astronauts of Apollo 13 were able to return to Earth safely?
I feel like the more scary fact is that only one child actually died. In theory. I'm doing a lot of in theory this time.
It was because NASA had access to a replica of the Apollo 13 capsule. All of the equipment, the instruments, everything. All of it identical. Everything was just like the real Apollo 13. NASA was able to replicate the situation the astronauts found themselves in. By putting themselves in the same situation, they attempted to solve the problems the astronauts were dealing with. Once they found solutions, They reported their findings to the men aboard the actual capsule. That was how they were able to return safely. It was the same with the Gigantic and Building Q. The children from Group Q had to use the power of Epiphany to solve the puzzles they found and transmit what they learned through the fields. The children in Group A, however, they had to access the fields to learn how they might advance to the next stage. That is the simplest explanation I can manage.
Huh.
Hey, Junpei, Snake! How much longer are you two gonna sit around on those bony asses? Get down here already!
God damn it, Seven.
He's right. Let's go, shall we? We don't have much time. We need to get out of here, and soon.
Hold it. There's one more thing I want to ask you.
Hmm?
Are you sure that there were 18 kids?
Yes, because only 16 were reported missing.
Why?
Well, I thought it was only 16.
Oh, yes. That was what they said on the news, wasn't it? Yes, I have no doubt that 18 children were abducted and used in Hongo's experiment.
Me and June were the two that weren't reported or something. It's got to be like that.
After all, you couldn't exactly play a nonary game with any less, could you?
Yeah, true.
Well, yeah, but are you saying that the news got it wrong?
Yes, I am. There were 2 more children. However, they had no relatives that I'm aware of. I imagine no one filed a police report when they went missing. They were brother and sister, like Clover and I.
Oh no, the 2 that were missing were Santa and his sister. Because their parents died. God, no.
The brother's name was Aoi. The sister's name was...
Nona.
Her name was...
Please don't say Nona. Please don't say Nona.
Her name was Akane.
That's even worse somehow.
That was the girl who died.
June's been dead this whole time, guys.
Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago?
What the fuck am I looking at?
Who is June? No. That's impossible. It can't be true. Akane isn't that uncommon of a name. If Snake had known her last name, that's a different matter entirely. So they share a name. A lot of other people do too. It doesn't mean anything. It was someone else. Of course it was. It has to be.
I mean, that's not how this game's gonna go down, Junpei. She did vanish at the very end of the game, so the very end of the other story.
Your breathing sounds strange.
Sorry, I'm just having a heart attack over the sudden realization I've had.
Oh, no, it's nothing. I'm fine. Let's get back down there, alright? I couldn't do it. Why didn't I ask? What's her last name? I just couldn't get the words to come out.
Have you 2 figured out this yet? There's a yellow but with... No, it's not that one. It's Sheldrake. It's this one. Sheldrake. This is it. This is what the shadow picture was pointing to. But didn't it say 5 at the end of the shadow picture? Yes, I think we need to find the 5th volume. Hey, look, a button. There's a big red button behind this book. Well, I guess we should press the button. Is the current June we have Alice? Well, this is fancy as all hell, isn't it? What was that sound? It sounded like something real big was moving. It came from the top floor. Alright, let's go check it out. I have to actually... I have time for books right now. I need to get to the top floor. Hello, doors. What do you say? 13, 14, 10, 13. Well, I bet you gotta type something on that keyboard. Yeah, but you can only enter letters. Give me a moment. Goddamn, where's my pen? Because it's in base 13! I'm a fucking genius. So I was writing it on the board and I'm like, that doesn't make a word. And then I wrote it in base 13 and it spells dead. I'm a fucking mastermind. Looks like you can only add 4 letters. I need to put this chalk down. Yes, I own a chalkboard. I come from the 20th century, apparently. Let's see how it works. You only need to enter once you type in the letters. You can erase what you've typed with CLR. Okay, I get the basic operations. Let's give it a shot. Why spacebar enter? Yay! Annoying, almost Kermit-esque voice. Imagine I flail my arms every time I say yay like that. Yay! You did it, Junpei! It's unlocked now! Good job, Junpei. Whoa there, don't get too excited. The password was dead, remember? This makes me think whatever's waiting for us here ain't good.
So what? Jeez, you're such an old lady. You can't be worrying about stuff like that. I mean, come on. Got to unlock, didn't we? Let's go, hurry up.
Alice, are you in here? Alright. Handle, let's get this over with. Oh, I just gave myself an aneurysm. Damn it, I can't get it open. This thing won't even budge. What? Why not? Put in the password. What else do we have to do?
That means...
Steal the door. Simple enough. Alright, let's get this... There we go. You found it! I feel like I had 2 ways to go there.
This is the next.
Or maybe not.
Ugh, the door!
Did that just close on its own?
Don't tell me we can't go back.
I don't know. Let's see. Damn it. It looks like it locks automatically.
Is there any other way out?
Well, there's another door over on the right. There's a card reader next to it.
There's a lot of shit in this room.
It's got a red light on it, though, so I'm pretty sure it's locked, too.
But there is a card reader, right?
Yeah.
Then perhaps if we find a key card, we could open the door and leave?
Well, yeah, that might work, but...
Hey! Wait a minute. Are you saying we're gonna have to search through this room for one little card?
Oh, man.
Looks that way.
No way!
For real?
Well, we can sit down and wait to die, if that's what you prefer. I rather doubt that, however, so it would be wise to start looking. We haven't much time. Let's find that key card. Oh, and the Neptune key as well. We won't be able to get through the hallway without it. All right then, let's begin.
Now I'm just jumping in here in post just because I'm gonna have to cut this here. I really don't want to, but I have to cut it somewhere because otherwise Adobe Premiere won't render it out. And here seems like a good point to cut it off. So thank you guys for watching this episode of 999. I apologize it can't be longer, especially since we're getting near the end of this damn game. If you liked the video in any capacity, give the video a like down below, leave a comment on, I don't know, how mind-fucked were you when you found out that June's probably dead and is probably being imitated right now. Now that I think about it, that's quite the mindfuck, yes. Yeah, it's probably that goddamn Pharaoh, isn't it, that's in her place. Anyway, that's all by the by. As I said, if you like the video, give the video a like down below, leave a comment, and if you want to keep up to date with this series and or Birth by Sleep, which is also nearing its conclusion, I feel like, subscribe to the channel for future updates on either of these series or anything I do in the future, because God knows it's going to be recoded and the one that comes after this, Virtue's Last Reward. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I've been Nix, and I will see you guys next time. Laters!